Hi you guys, it's Tika and this is TikaTime. Today's video is all about what is emotional intelligence, because that's what I am. I'm an emotional intelligence coach. So you guys need to first understand what is emotional intelligence and why do you need it? Because I'm telling you, all people care about these days is IQ. You know, actually both of them are up here. Emotional and your academic skills are all up here. But honestly, if you ask me, emotional intelligence is way more important. So you know how like you might meet some people and they're so successful and they like dropped out of high school, right? It's your dream come true. That's what you want to hear. I'm gonna preach that to you. So now, I don't mean like drop out of high school, but you know, you have to decide like if college is in your future and what you want to pursue in college, because don't just go to go. I mean, yeah, kind of go to go, but don't spend a lot of money to go. You understand? Because you got to pay all that money back. I have like literally, before ADHD was even a thing and people were diagnosed, I have it, all right? I'm self-diagnosed from, you know, a girl of what, 80s, 90s. But anyway, I'm gonna try and focus for you guys. So basically, IQ stuff is important for college. And of course, if like you're trying to become successful in life, IQ is important if you're going to pursue college. And you know, also like obviously you want to like take care of your health and understand your job and all those things, and that takes IQ, okay? However, emotional intelligence is how you relate to people. And if you aren't able to relate to people well, you're not even gonna have a chance to, like, for somebody to listen to your IQ. Does that make sense? So you gotta like earn people's respect and show kindness and empathy and all the things that emotional intelligence is made of. Also understanding yourself and what you need and how you are reacting to people. All these things are so much more important than just, I don't know, your last week's chemistry test, okay? Because you're gonna forget that unless you plan on being a chemist. Emotional intelligence actually is also really important for EQ, because if you don't understand like why you're upset about something or down about something, I know you're not gonna concentrate on all the IQ stuff or like the studying you have to do tonight. So you have to get your emotions under control, and I am going to help you with that. Okay, so what is emotional intelligence? Let's just look at Google's definition. The capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. Judiciously means like logically, not just like I want to be right so you're gonna be wrong. That kind of thing doesn't work out well for relationships. The other thing I want to talk about though here, it says interpersonal, but there's also something called intrapersonal, and that is understanding yourself, the relationship you have with yourself. That is really important too. So add that to the definition. So in this video, we're gonna talk about the 5 things that are beneficial for you to develop your emotional intelligence. As you really only need 5? No. Oh my gosh, there's like infinitum amount of reasons that you need to develop your emotional intelligence. Okay, so there's so many benefits of good emotional intelligence, okay? It just equals success for you. That's it. Nothing equals success but being emotionally intelligent. So there's 5 benefits, okay? Number 1, having more close and meaningful relationships, all right? The one thing that really leads to a long and satisfied life is having good, close relationships with people. This starts with who? Number 1, your parents. First relationship you will ever have or you have ever had is with your parents. Now, yes, it starts with your parents, then it goes to your siblings, right? And then you're ready to go into friendships. Now, I always say, don't be hasty in trying to have a best friend or trying to have a girlfriend or boyfriend too early. Like honestly, best friendships should first start with your parents, okay? And then it should be with your siblings. So if you want to have a best friendship, then the next one is with your siblings. So if you're like, my brother irritates me or my sister irritates me, no, quiet. No, that is your best friend. Literally, your mother baked you in her body, or you were baked in somebody's body, so you could have good relationships with your brothers and sisters who she also took the time to bake in her body, okay? So please be respectful. Your mama did so much. First of all, like a lot of people's pregnancies, they could be like throwing up the whole 9 or 10 months. Why don't you think about that? Do you know how much that sucks? Throwing up every day for 9 or 10 months? Oh my gosh. Go hug your mom. Okay, anyway, so that's the first thing. I want you to concentrate on your relationships with your parents and your family first, okay? Build those first. Okay, the second benefit of emotional intelligence is you're able to handle everyday stress. All right, so if you're about to leave for school and you got on your brand new clothes that, you know, it's your first day and you just spill all your coffee all over yourself, or your sister comes through or with the dog and like, you know, all this coffee, she like makes you spill over your coffee. You, my friend, need to control yourself, okay? So those are everyday little stressors that are always going to be there no matter how perfectly you make your lifestyle. Your well-being is important in all aspects of your life. Remember, your mental and emotional well-being will affect your physical well-being. Okay, so if you want to be healthy physically too, you have to be mentally and emotionally balanced. Fifth and final thing I'm going to talk about today to benefit to developing your your emotional intelligence is to build optimal psychological functioning. All right, so what's psychological functioning? That is your ability to like be a part of society and make decisions like in like the moment. Like somebody says something to you and it evokes some sort of feeling, and then you want to say something back, and then she says something else, and then you're like, uh-oh, wait, I don't know now like what I needed to say, and now I feel like I'm losing control of the conversation, and then you're gonna want to cry. But you know, we don't want to do that. So to have like better psychological functioning, you have to have a really high sense of emotional intelligence, so you just don't crumble or break down, you know. That's a huge benefit, because not only do you not want to be embarrassed, you know, like what happens when you're a baby, you're like fine laying down in the middle of Target. My kids did it, and I would just sit there and be like, okay, just let me know when you're done. But you know, you're totally fine laying down in the middle of Target screaming and wailing because you don't care. You know, you don't care what everybody's thinking. You don't even have an idea or construct of where you fit into this matrix, right? So you're not really concerned or bothered by it. But as you grow up, you don't want to act like that. You don't want to freak out in the middle of Target and throw a tantrum on the ground, because you are aware that like your psychological well-being is going to be affected, you know, and your psychological functioning is going to be affected. And that means like everybody around you is going to be affected if you did that. And so you are definitely going to want to pull together and not have a freak out session. So now obviously you might not do that at Target, I get it, but what about if you do it in front of like your friend or your colleague or your boss? You know, you don't want to flip out in those situations too. Good emotional intelligence means you're in control of yourself and your emotions and who you are. Let's be done with that today. All right, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm your best friend. All right, we're in this together. So subscribe and share this content with other people. Remember, we're going to talk about everything about building emotional intelligence. And if you need academic intelligence, IQ intelligence, remember to go to my website. It'll be here, linked below, carpediemacademics.com. Join one of my math classes. Monthly membership. You get me all the time explaining math to you. It's wonderful. And TikaTime is always in there somewhere. But anyway, I also do ACT, SAT prep. So if you need any of that IQ stuff, I got you covered. Carpe diem academics. All right, kids, it was so fun, and I'm going to miss you, and I love you until next time. And I'm with you. Just put me in your back pocket, okay? Until next time. I'll see you later. Bye.